My name is Jennifer Heller, and I have recently been baptized, and I just want to share my story with you. I came to Branch through my cousin Jack and his wife Jill. I happened to be at my aunt and uncle's house visiting, and he came out and asked, telling me the story of how Pastor Josh was opening up, planning a church, and said, "Hey, do you want to do this?" And I said, "Sounds like a good idea." At the time, my husband and I weren't sure that we actually had a home church, and we figured, maybe God was leading us this way. Growing up, I knew all the stories, but I wasn't really sure. And then there was a time in my life where things didn't go as planned. I lost, some family members, and I really struggled. Again, Mom would bring it back to, it's God's plan. My parents were very much, it's in God's hands type thing. So I would go to camps with Jack and his sister Kim, and we were all very close. I think I accepted Jesus at that time, but I never pursued it anymore. And then I would say, I don't remember when, but Steve, my husband Steve, was saved a couple years into our marriage, and he just seemed to have changed. And I remember wow, maybe I'm not, because I didn't get that warm fuzzy feeling, so to speak. Jill Greenlee was huge in my journey, just praying for me. Sorry. Jill and I again chatted most of the night, and it was just a movement, and I accepted Jesus as my Savior. Again, one of the best decisions I've made. And it was funny because, I don't know, it was 2:00 at night, and Jill ran into their bedroom with, Jack, and he came out and hugged me. And again, it was one of those things that just was amazing, absolutely amazing. And since being saved, I just have a calmness about myself, even when things are rough and I'm unsure. But it's just a sense that I know when I calm myself down, I go to Jesus, and he just makes everything right. And knowing that I am safe is huge. Being saved and even just being baptized, there's a calmness that it's going to be okay. I don't know the plans. Right now, my dad, but he's just finished up with his chemo and radiation. And I would say for all of us, just knowing that it's okay, whatever you give us next, we're going to be okay.
Hi, my name is Jacob Heller, and I started to know Branch when my cousin Jack and Jill basically told my parents, and then we came here. It all kind of started when I went to camp this year, and my counselor really was spiritual. So he was just talking about being saved and baptized. I'm like, you know what, maybe I should do that. I was always in a godly home, and my parents and my brother were always there, so they would help me through everything. And my counselor really got into about God, and so that happened. And then Mr. Alex was just always there. I chose Mr. Alex because he's kind of pushed me to get saved, and obviously my parents. But he mainly pushed me to tell my parents, hey, I want to be saved and get baptized. So he helped me a lot through that, and I became saved, and then I knew baptism was next, so I took that step forward into Christ.
Lord, thank you for letting us be a part of such a great act, Lord. A public profession of your faith today, Lord. I thank you for Jen and Jake. I know the blessing they've been to our family and our church. Lord, I ask that you put your hand of blessing on them as they go forward in their walk. We thank you for this profession, and bless them, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.